In May 2017, I was summoned to do jury service. I was very anxious and I prayed many times as a Christian would. You might think, well, why were you so anxious? Well, I didn't know I would cope with listening to and having to reflect on people who had done evil things. You see, I'm retired. My lifestyle is nice. I've got nice people, nice thoughts. My thought life, I protect it. I don't watch anything after watershed. And I have a very settled life. During that time of worrying what lay ahead, God was very kind to me. He gave me 2 scriptures. Let those who love the Lord hate evil, for he guards the lives of his faithful ones and delivers them from the hand of the wicked. And then, right on the first day of the trial, Diane gave me the second one. I will fear no evil, for you are with me. So I knew that God was speaking to me and that God was being kind to me. And sure enough, when I arrived at court on the first day, there were 167 people. Amazingly, I found myself standing next to somebody I knew. And not just somebody I knew, but a Christian I knew, Rebecca. On 2 other occasions, when I was travelling on the train, I met some Christians on the train. And they have a lunchtime service. And I was able to go to that. And I met some friends there. So God was very kind to me. What was jury service like? Well, of the 9 days, I was only in court for 5. What was the trial like? Well, I had feared an evil situation. I had been fearful of that. But my case was just a confrontation that got out of hand. There were charges around that particular incident. Well, what were the witnesses like? This was very interesting. Of course, all the witnesses potentially are telling lies, so it's very difficult to work out who's telling the truth and who's telling a lie. So, sure enough, it was great for me because I'd been a teacher at secondary school. I could determine some of those personalities. What about the evenings? Well, the evenings were very difficult because obviously these things, they go round and round in your head, and I'm not going to pretend if I did find it very difficult to switch off in the early hours. What were the jury like? They were lovely. Over those 5 days, we became friends. God was very kind to me. The deliberation, well, I was the only one who was sure he was guilty, but it didn't matter because the judge had offered the alternative that if we thought he was guilty, then was it in proportion to the attack? And I felt it was. And so therefore I fitted in with the rest of the people and he was acquitted. So looking back, my jury service, I just thank the Lord for his kindness, and I felt comforted that I played a part in the British justice system. So the question I'd like you to think about today is this. When you face your next trial, when you are called by God to go outside of your comfort zone, what prayer will you pray? What prayer will you pray? And will you know, just like I did, the blessing of God in looking after you?